everybody. I think I broke him. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Cinematic Relief. I'm Thunder.
And I'm Lightning.
And this is the ill-fated episode. We're going to talk about WB Pictures presents Space Jam: A New Legacy, which we didn't know going in, but is a movie that takes place outside of the universe of the original Space Jam.
Yeah.
Like, it takes place in our world where Space Jam is a movie, but the Looney Tunes remember it happening, because I think we're still going off the notion that Looney Tunes is like this weird vaudeville act that like they actually act out on TV.
I figured it out.
Oh, okay, cool. Because I haven't.
In our universe, at this point in time, the Looney Tunes have been a cartoon since the 60s. 30s, sorry.
No,
as
you're
they
good.
are in our time. At this point in time, though, they are now an AI in a computer.
Right.
And
Oh, I see. So from in the switchover, the like nationwide, worldwide switchover from analog to digital, they are now an AI.
yeah, Warner Bros. have created this AI that holds every memory. And when I say memory, I mean every episode and every occurrence of the Looney Tunes in this AI is the Looney Tunes along with every other property that
along with
WB owns.
Along with fan favorites like Mad Max Fury Road and The Maltese Falcon and Magilla Gorilla and Rick and Morty.
That is right. So Rick and Morty being in it and they were in it means that I'm pretty sure means that any Adult Swim character could have showed up in this.
I mean, another one did. Fucking Captain whatever his name is in this movie. What is his fucking name? He was a comic book hero, but then he had a reality show.
Oh, are you talking about
Space Ghost?
Space Ghost?
Yeah, he was in the movie.
Yeah. No, you're right. But he wasn't Space Ghost from Space Ghost Coast to Coast. It seems like he was the 1960s Space Ghost.
Is there a difference? Other than the fact that he used to be a real superhero who fought crime and now he's...
I think canonically they're the same character, but the Space Ghost from Space Ghost Coast to Coast is clueless and kind of a dick.
Oh, okay. Okay. This movie sucked dick.
Yeah. Getting past the idea that our entire lives Space Jam has been a lie. It was just there even in the Space Jam universe, Space Jam is just simply a movie that people kind of know about.
There's a part in this movie where executives at Warner Brothers sit down with LeBron James and they're like, look at this technology we created. We've created the technology to put you into your favorite shows. Look, there's you, but you're with Batman. Look, there's you, but on Game of Thrones. And as part of this, two things about this. As part of this presentation, they show like a animation of a bunch of movies like swarming towards the screen, and one of them is Space Jam.
Yeah, one of them is Space Jam.
But
which
the other
I thought was just an Easter egg at that point.
But no, it's just an actual movie because Space Jam: A New Legacy takes place in the real world.
Right. The real world.
The real world.
I can't wait till Space Jam 3 comes out and it's another NBA star.
Oh,
and those two movies are movies and he's in the real world.
But I've got news on Space Jam 3 we can talk about later.
Oh no.
It's rough.
Oh no.
And then LeBron James is like, that's stupid. No one's going to buy this.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then all the executives are like, oh, of course. Fucking Glenn from Walking Dead is like, oh, of course. I told him it was stupid. It's
I forgot he was in that movie.
He's in it for like a hot second. That's one of the most unrealistic parts of the movie. Like, the thing they're showing you is like highly impressive, like technology that does not exist. They're like going beyond VR. They're like, they're on some Ready Player One shit where it's like, and now you're Dark Knight in the Dark Knight movie. And LeBron James is like, man, this is dumb. Fuck video games.
LeBron James puts a conclusive ending on Player One. It never happens. It never happens because LeBron James says it doesn't happen.
Yeah. Well, it's not Wait, isn't Ready Player One a WB film? Isn't it?
Oh, I don't know. It
It's
might
got
be.
Mortal Kombat. Wait, it's got Ninja Turtles. No, what is that? Is that WB? No, Ninja Turtles. It's got Godzilla. What is
Ninja
that?
Turtles is Nickelodeon.
Right. And Nickelodeon is.
But Ready Player One took from a lot of IPs from a lot of owners.
Yeah, but there were certain ones that were easier to get because of the production studio that made it. But I can't for the life of me remember which one that was. I don't think it was Warner Brothers though. Anyways, nothing we've said is a lie. The part about Looney Tunes being an AI, that's
not
Chris's.
really a lie. That's my theory.
Right, that's your theory. No. It wasn't a lie. I was going to say that's your theory, but everything else we said actually happened in this ridiculous movie. If you haven't seen the
I
movie,
don't even know if that's a theory. I think that's what they were doing their damnedest to tell us, but just didn't have the wherewithal to say we created an AI with every WB IP, and that's what you get sucked into.
well, they probably didn't explain that because it's a movie for children.
Then they're not. I feel like kids understand what AI is.
Especially when you say what those letters mean.
Well, that's the thing too. They could dumb it down. They
Yeah.
could walk us through the process, but
Right.
they did none of that.
Um,
Here's a computer, and the Looney Tunes live inside of it. Is essentially what they said.
right. But also, who lives inside of it? It's Don Cheadle. It's
Well, yeah.
America's Don Cheadle, but he's not playing Don Cheadle. He's
He's
playing
not even playing War Machine.
He's playing an AI, and that AI is called Algorithm, which is, of course, a play on words on algorithm, which is how websites work. It's dumb. It's a dumb name. It's a dumb character. Don Cheadle forgot how to act.
I don't think Don Cheadle forgot how to act. I think Don Cheadle was poorly directed in the Space Jam 2 film.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't LeBron James direct this flick himself? I'm going to look that up.
Did he?
I thought he did. I'm going to look that up. I know that there was a point in time where this film was rumored, and then it was picked up by LeBron James movie studio. Okay, he didn't direct it, but it is his movie studio. It was directed by someone named Malcolm D. Lee.
Okay.
And it would appear as though Malcolm D. Lee. Let's see what other movies this person has made. Scary Movie 5, Girls Trip, Night School. A bunch of movies I've never seen. Looks like he's a comedy person. There's a Hot Wheels movie coming out that he's making. Did not know that. Thank you, Wikipedia.
Hey, LeBron James.
Yeah, what about him?
No offense,
love
man.
Big fan of him now.
Stay in your own lane. It's great that he loves movies, and he can fund a film. Whatever he owns. What does he own? A production company.
He owns a production company. Yeah.
Yeah, you invest in that. Own one of those. Sure, if you love films, even hang out on set. Why not? But maybe don't get hands deep into making a film, especially an IP with such a legacy behind it. Maybe start small. That's the thing. He has the money and the fame to shoot right for the stars.
Right.
But respect the industry and maybe work your way up to it. I don't know how many films LeBron James's production company has made. I can only imagine it's not ready to take on Space Jam 2.
His production company, which is called Spring Hill Company, it has made a few films. It made a film called What's My Name, Muhammad Ali, which sounds like a documentary, which was on HBO. It made something called Dreamland, The Burning of Black Wall Street, which does not have a Wikipedia article. And then it has Space Jam: A New Legacy with Warner Brothers Pictures, and it looks like they're remaking House Party in 2022. But other than that, they've done a couple. Oh, they produced NBC's The Wall, that fucking stupid game show where you have to contort your body as a wall moves towards you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just a bunch of stuff.
I
I've
mean,
never heard
besides
of.
Space Jam 2, that was the only thing I knew about.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think it's cool that LeBron James has other interests and he's pursuing them and go for it, but respect the industry you're in and pay your dues. Work your way up. Learn the game. And I'm sure he has a bunch of people in his production studio who are part of the industry.
Yeah, like Serena Williams, the tennis player.
Oh. Wait, what does she do?
She's on the board of directors for the Spring Hill Company.
What? Okay. I'm really trying to play devil's advocate here.
I won't let you. This Wikipedia article won't let you play devil's advocate.
I'm really trying. I mean, okay, if it's just a bunch of his buddies, then fuck you, LeBron James. Don't make Space Jam 2. Don't make a company about film if you're not going to have people of the industry involved in your company. That's stupid.
These are all good points you're bringing up, and I do agree with them. Can I switch gears real quick?
Yeah.
There's a part of this movie where they go to different movies.
Yeah,
and I
want to
talk about that.
Sure, yeah, no, go for it. Let's get off of
Wile
it.
Coyote and Roadrunner are in Mad Max Fury Road.
They are.
Like, literally, they took footage from the film and put them in that. Elmer Fudd and Sylvester the Cat are in Awesome Powers 2.
Oh, that's
for
right.
some reason.
That's right, they are.
Speedy Gonzalez, who is voiced by Gabriel Iglesias, and Granny are in The Matrix Reloaded.
Yep.
And Tasmanian Devil was hanging out with Rick and Morty. Lola Bunny is on Themyscira, but she's not in, like, it's not live action Gal Gadot Wonder Woman. It's like she's in, like, a comic book, which is weird because it, like, takes place in a computer game.
Yeah.
Yosemite Sam is in Casablanca. Just a bunch of bullshit that kids aren't going to give a shit about. And, like, here's the fucked up part about this universe. The way these, like, planets are set up, one of them could have been hanging out on Space Jam Planet.
Oh, I know.
Like, that's what we're not talking about, is that there's a Space Jam Planet with a fake Michael Jordan, because that's how this movie verse works.
The actual Michael Jordan never went
right.
there, which, like, huge middle finger to Michael Jordan in the really cool film that he made.
I think Foghorn Leghorn is posing as Daenerys Targaryen in Game of Thrones.
Wow, you remembered these very well.
It's really traumatic, this movie. You remember trauma more than you do
joy.
Joy, yeah. The opposite of trauma, I guess. Joy, yeah. You kind of nailed it. It was just a lot. Oh, the other two. What's the duck's name? Daffy Duck and Porky Pig are in the 90s DC superhero universe.
Oh, yeah.
It's the old Justice League, Superman, Batman Beyond, like, cartoon. That's where they are. And Bugs Bunny is the only Toon left in Toon World for some reason.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure they touched on that. I don't know why they all left Toon World.
Because,
I mean, it'd be cool if I feel like this movie is missing the part where anybody can visit any world. Why did the Toons all go to different worlds? Right. I don't remember. It's been a while since we saw this movie. I think we were on the cusp of not making this podcast. Just because good movies were starting to come out.
Yeah.
And we really wanted to talk about those. So it's been a hot minute.
There's definitely a good movie we fucked over and didn't do a podcast on. I don't remember which one it was.
Uh-oh.
There's, like, a movie we both watched and then we never did a podcast on. I don't remember what it was, though. It wasn't Black Widow. We did a podcast on that. I remember talking about Black Widow. I don't know, though. Anyways, yeah, this movie, so it's not good, right? And I don't recommend people watch it, but, like, if you like if you like Space Jam 1, don't watch this movie. If you're neutral on Space Jam 1, you don't have much nostalgia for it, and you like to make fun of just terribly written, terribly acted, bad CGI having movies, definitely give this one a watch, because there's a point where they finally goddamn play a game of the sport we all know and love, basketball. And
I will say, once they made the Toons 3D, they did look good.
They looked exceptional. They were really good, yeah. We recently had a different HBO movie, the Tom and Jerry movie, where they went the Looney Tunes back in action route of Tom and Jerry are fucking two-dimensional the whole time, and live-action Chloe Grace Moretz was like, how do I hold a 2D thing in 3D space?
Right.
So they just forewent that, and when it was basketball time, LeBron James was live-action, Don Cheadle was live-action, everything else was CGI. The Looney Tunes were CGI, 3D animation, but so was the audience. But there's a point where they're about to play basketball, and Algae Rhythm,
they're playing basketball.
He says some shit like,
song never made it into the movie.
I don't know why it would have.
Because it's from the original one?
No, I know. I don't know why you think that this movie has any respect for the old one. No, he's like bring in the crowd or some shit like that, and then like every character you've ever seen from Warner Brothers or Hanna-Barbera shows up, like the Flintstones, the Scooby-Doo gang, Teen Titans Go, Animaniacs, King Kong, every Batman villain, live action or animated, fucking characters from Schitt's Creek were in the audience. I was hearing the White Walkers, the fucking people with the hats from A Clockwork Orange, both versions of It, 3 versions of the Joker, Arnold Schwarzenegger's Mr. Freeze. And it's like, I don't know, who is this audience for? Is the audience...
I think it's just dick measuring contest with Warner Brothers.
No, I know,
against
but like...
every other company, I guess.
But like, why did... makeup and costuming and CGI went through all this effort to animate and make look nice and perfect all these characters for, I guess, the adults that are paying attention? There's just too much stuff and too many recognizable characters in the background for me to focus on the basketball game, of which is kind of bullshit. Like, I know that we're like, in the original Space Jam, we kind of move on to like Looney Tunes rules at some point.
Yeah.
But they take this basketball game is going to have weird rules to unconscionable levels. This basketball game like has as many rules of basketball as this podcast you're listening to does. Like it was incoherent.
Yeah.
And there was no, because of its incoherency, there was no suspense.
Right.
Like they were about to lose and then they win or whatever.
And then they fucking win because we say so.
Right.
That's the thing. Like in the original Space Jam, the rules got kind of wonky, but there were new rules set in place. The rules are Toon rules.
Right.
Michael Jordan, remember you're in Toon World. You can do Toon things. And that gave him the advantage to win.
This game starts... LeBron James is playing by basketball rules for maybe 30 on-screen seconds, and then he's like, oh, they're cheating. And then they cheat and cheat and cheat and just do all these weird things, and like things are glitching, and the score is like unrealistic numbers. It's like 1,000,000 to 2 or something like that.
Oh, well, the scoreboard is fans, isn't it?
That's right. There is a Twitter... There's like a... Right, that's right. I'm sorry. Because the MacGuffin of this movie is Algae Rhythm wants LeBron James' Twitter followers.
Yeah.
He literally pulls up his Twitter handle, which is @KingJames, in real life. And he says, this is how many Twitter followers you have. They're all mine if you lose. That's the stake. Not I'm going to kill your son. Not you can never leave. It's I get your social media following. And then I infect the real world, I guess. Like, the alt history sequel to this movie is Algae Rhythm takes over actual, like, Los Angeles.
Right.
Or something. That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, the scoreboard. That's the other thing. The scoreboard just, like, doesn't matter. It's really hard to be invested in the actual game of basketball that they're playing.
The most fun for me in this movie was checking out all of the audience. To be honest, I enjoyed...
Which I think was intentional because
they made a shitty movie?
Because little kids are going to focus on the basketball game. They're going to be like, whoa, look at all the colors. And you and me, even though we've seen, the original Space Jam, take our nostalgia out of it for a minute, we're adults. We're like, this basketball game's bullshit. Let's look at the background. Oh, hey, it's Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker.
Right.
No, that's clearly... the point.
Another thing I'd like to mention.
Yeah.
The rival team.
Yeah.
Which, as far as I'm concerned, are not the Monstars.
No.
Could have been, though, because the Monstars were in the fucking audience.
And do you want to know, if I can tangent for 1 second off what you're saying, the Monstars, that's not what they're called, though. They have, like, that's not their race. They have, like, a real other name. I forget. But the Monstars... They're like their puny version.
Yeah.
They're in the audience. They root for not the Looney Tunes. Why did they do that? At the end of Space Jam, they're like friends. At the end of Space Jam, the Monstars like live in Toon World.
Right.
They're like, we're all friends now. What the fuck happened to that? The one thing they could have carried over from the last movie.
Which actually pokes a hole in their film, because if my AI theory is correct, which they did everything except say that it's correct,
right,
then they should hold the same memories that the Looney Tunes have, and there's never a reoccurrence of the Monstars until now, where they decide that they don't like the Looney Tunes.
Right. Yeah, it just it's just a level of like refusal to do research to the one bit of source material you have, because you had a CGI scene of the Monstars cheering somebody on. You made them cheer on the wrong team,
Right.
because they, at the end of the original, I almost said Suicide Squad. At the end of the original Space Jam, they are team like
it's a suicide movie.
They're essentially team like, we've been manipulated by Danny DeVito alien. We're gonna live in Toon World now. You guys are chill.
Yeah.
So
I'm sorry that you have a shirt in your closet, and when you're not looking directly at it, it looks just like Squidward.
oh, the skull.
The skull? No, right underneath it, or maybe it's a sheet. That green thing.
Oh, that's a
I'm
shirt.
looking right at your face.
Oh, it's Squidward colored. Yeah, you're right.
Well, even the shape. If I'm not looking at you, it looks like Squidward.
Got it. Okay.
I'm sorry. I just could not go another podcast without pointing.
No,
this
that's
out.
okay. Squidward unfortunately did not show up in this movie.
No.
Could have been in Ready Player One. I'm coming to the conclusion, but
yeah, it seems like anybody and anything could have been in Ready Player One.
There's
including Michael Jordan.
we are not talking about Ready Player One. We actually already have a podcast about it, but there's like this crazy like meta cameo in that baffles me to this day how cool it is.
Which one?
Girl Artemis is disguised as Goro from Mortal Kombat, the thing with 4 arms.
Yes. Yeah.
And she grabs Parzival, takes him into a photo booth or whatever, and he thinks he's going to get killed by Goro. Goro, what do you call him? An alien baby, a chest burster, burst out of Goro's torso, and it turns out it was fake. It was Artemis the whole time. But Mortal Kombat 10, Xenomorph from Alien was a guest character in that game. So like a chest burster bursting out of Goro is like something that could have like canonically happened.
Yeah.
And the fact that these two references were part of the same scene, part of the same reference, were probably a coincidence, because there's just like an unconscionable, untrackable amount of references in that movie.
Yeah.
It's kind of similar to this one, but not so. It definitely gave me the same vibe of like, look, the Flintstones are here too, right? You remember them, right? But
yeah.
Ready Player One, I feel like did it. Neither one did a very good job. I feel like Ready Player One did better.
Yeah.
And was more well-deserving of it's like, hey, it's Lara Croft.
Right.
And Ready Player One, okay, both movies kind of went the extra mile of, if the characters were going to talk, they got the appropriate voice actors. Like Tracer's in Ready Player One from Overwatch, and they got her voice actor to voice her. And the same thing with Fred Flintstones and the Animaniacs. Like, they all had the like correct voices that they were supposed to. Bugs Bunny, if I can spoil the very end of this movie, Bugs Bunny dies.
Yes.
He dies. And his last words are, "That's all, folks," which is hilarious. But then he's not dead. He's like in the real world.
Right.
He like shows up in the real world, and it's like there's a picture in the credits of him playing golf with Bill Murray.
Oh yeah.
And shit like that. And it's like, it really implies that he died and he came back to life in the real world, and then they figured out like, oh, if we just kill ourselves, we'll come back to life in the real world. And then they had a mass suicide in the middle of Toontown.
Oh no. That's some Lord of the Rings shit. Like no, serious, like
Gandalf?
No, well, I can't think of what the realm is called. When you leave Middle Earth, the elves all go there.
Oh, it's heaven, but you can.
It's heaven, but you can literally take a boat there.
Yeah,
and it's like, if that was real, none of us would be here right now.
Right. Yeah, it's like not elf exclusive, but it's usually elf exclusive.
Well,
because Bilbo
really
and Frodo
feels,
go.
Right, it really feels like elves are the only ones who know how to get there, and they're dicks enough to not tell anybody else how to get there.
Yeah. Apparently it's just called the Undying Lands.
Okay, all right. Really thought it had a more sacred name than
me
that,
too.
but okay.
In my head, I one of those things happened where I couldn't get a word out of my head, but I knew it was wrong. In Skyrim, heaven is called Sovngarde, and you go there as part of a mission. That's the word that was in my head. I knew it wasn't that, though. Apparently it's just called the Undying Lands. I too thought it had a more medieval name.
Yeah, I'm just picturing Daffy Duck committing seppuku, right? And then he turned to pixels. If I'm correct, I'm talking about Bugs Bunny.
Oh
now.
yeah, he de-resed.
Yeah,
he
which also means he's just a computer program.
right. So we should feel
Which
no
also means
emotion.
did they just delete Bugs Bunny? Because no, I'll go on YouTube right now and I can get Bugs Bunny. He's still here. He's still here.
You even went as
him.
far as to use a digital medium to find Bugs Bunny.
Yeah.
Like there he is. There's data Bugs Bunny on my TV right now.
It's just weird. They didn't explain the rules of anything really at all.
Also, you alluded to this a bit. LeBron James is not a great actor, and listen. Michael Jordan wasn't a great actor either, but
he didn't try to play it up though. He was just Michael Jordan.
Right, yeah. He definitely both characters were playing a version of themselves, and their kids were played by actors and not their real kids and stuff like that. But I just feel like Michael Jordan's hit home more because he was kind of just acting like himself, and I feel like LeBron James really was especially because LeBron James' character was kind of a dick to his kid, and I can only assume that that's not how LeBron James is in real life. So he was definitely playing.
Oh yeah, there was no character development either, if I remember.
No,
correctly.
no, there was.
No, that's right. His kid's a fucking nerd, so he hates him.
Right.
Because fuck you, nerd.
Because the kid wants to develop video games and actually has successfully developed what looks like a pretty cool video game.
And then the movie ends. Oh, fuck, I forgot about this B plot.
Yeah.
That sucks. Oh, that's what made me hate this movie.
This kid's goal is an E3 academic summit, which is an entry level, anyone could go to that, right? And that's his big I want to go. And LeBron James is like, oh no, you're gonna go to basketball camp, you dumb shit idiot.
And then the movie ends, and they're at E3,
yeah.
And the kid's like, fuck this, Dad, let's go to basketball camp.
Is that really what happens? Yeah. He's like, go on, kid, I brought you to E3 like you fucking wanted. And he's like, no, now we're going to bed.
If I remember correctly, that's how it ended, because I remember being like, there was no character development.
No, none whatsoever.
This kid caved to what his dad wanted him to do, because he bullied him his whole life.
And let that be a lesson to all of you. If you have a shitty dad, just do what he says. Everything will be fine. You won't get eaten by Don Cheadle.
I mean, probably not.
No, that last part's probably good life advice. Allow me to educate you on what the Wikipedia article for Space Jam: A New Legacy says about the possibilities of a sequel.
Yes.
It's one paragraph. It's actually one sentence. And here I go. I really am just looking forward to your opinion on this. After the success performance of the film, a third Space Jam was in the talks by director Malcolm D. Lee, with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson involved as the lead, transitioning on the sports genre from basketball to professional wrestling.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, how do I word this? My head just started hurting.
I'm sorry.
Dwayne, this is a hot take. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is a horseshit actor. I'm gonna follow this up, and I will throw Vin Diesel in this same boat.
Okay.
Good voice actor. Doesn't do a bad job voice acting.
Correct. Yeah.
Is a shit actor.
Okay.
And even LeBron James also was doing better at voice acting in this film,
right,
than he did in live action. The fact that they want to move genres as far as athletics go, which just cut the tie at that point. If
don't call it Space Jam or something like
that.
Don't
call it Space Jam, and or just make it an actor or somebody. Like, why does it have to be another sports person?
Right.
I don't know. Do something. But why? You're not making a fourth Space Jam. Let's get that. Let's put that right out in the open. I'd be hard pressed to believe a fourth Space Jam is ever going to happen.
I mean, I don't think a third one's going to happen, but it sounds like there was at least
talks.
Yeah.
why at this stage, assuming that we're ending the trilogy, why at this stage a wrestler? It just, that aggravates the hell out of me. If you're making a TV series and it's going to be different athletes and shit, do it, but basketball, wrestler, and then, like, that's it for Space Jam? Why? Why did it change? I will say, wrestling Space Jam seems pretty fucking cool. It would probably make more sense with the tunes.
Especially because wrestling is kind of like, I'm going to use this word lightly, it's sort of a fake sport that doesn't really have rules.
Yeah, WWE
anyways.
wrestling.
You can sort of, like, the line between a wrestling game played with real rules and a wrestling game played with tune rules, really the only bridge to cross is now we're made of cartoons, so we can stretch our body all weird.
Right. I mean, and then there's, like, Olympics wrestling, which does have rules, but is not what they're going to be doing.
But Olympic wrestling, just to take it back, is not what Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson did.
No.
So,
actually, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was a football player, then a wrestler, then a horseshit actor.
And a pretty okay voice actor, and like incredible singer ?
Oh, really? I don't know. Oh, yeah,
he
from
was in
Moana.
Moana,
Right,
yeah.
right. No, yeah, he kicked ass at that.
Just fun fact I always bring up, Dwayne "Rock" Johnson, not auto-tuned. Emma Watson for Beauty and the Beast sounded like a auto-tuned robot.
I was thinking of Moana when I thought of The Rock, because he did phenomenal in that movie.
No, he was great.
Which also made me think of Vin Diesel, because, like, Groot and Iron Giant.
I will argue, though, for the sake of playing devil's advocate, the only difference is Vin Diesel was an actor first.
Right.
Like, he was not a wrestler.
Well, that's kind of going back to the Kobe thing. Stay in your own lane.
Kobe? LeBron.
Oh, shit. I'm sorry. I've been trying not to do
no,
that
you're
this
good. You're
entire
good.
time. LeBron, like, just stay in your own lane.
Yeah.
And just I don't know. I know what I said is a hot take. Quite clearly, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has had a very successful acting career.
Yeah, I mean,
he's done nothing that I like. He's live action.
Here's the thing. You said that he's a horseshit actor. You clearly do not like him. I'm not sitting here like saying that I'm a big fan of his. I've definitely seen him in things that I didn't mind. I feel like more often than not, he's in movies that I wasn't gonna fucking see anyways. Like, I was never gonna see those Jumanji movies.
Well, see, maybe that's it. Maybe I should. Okay, you got a point. Maybe I should give Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson a break here, because he's in shit I just don't care about.
He also, now that I'm thinking about it like this, he's been doing pretty much exclusively
Disney stuff.
It's either been children's movies or Fast and the Furious movies. Because he was in that Journey to the Center of the Earth 2. Just kidding, we're not going to the center of the Earth this time.
And now he's being insane about the Jungle Book.
And then he was Jungle Cruise. Rather.
Right, I'm sorry. That is two wildly different things.
And then he was in 2 Jumanji movies, which I can only assume are geared towards children, those Jumanji movies. I haven't seen them. I don't give a shit. Every time a movie is like, we're a video game thing, I'm like, I'm out.
Those Jumanji movies did to the original Jumanji what Space Jam 2 did to Space Jam.
Okay.
It would appear. I'll give Jumanji this. It seems like they respected it enough that they were like, the game actually happened. Now we're just doing it ass backwards.
Yeah, I know that it's canonical and characters from the movie like get mentioned or whatever. I just have no desire to.
No.
I'm just so like, I was talking with someone about this the other day. I am like of all the things I'm like a fan of, video games is like number 1 for me. And every single time there's like a video game movie or like a video game thing in a thing that's not really related to video games, I'm just like super scrutinizing of it.
I want you to see Free Guy so we can talk about it. Not because
I'll definitely watch Free Guy.
I think you're not going to like it.
I'll definitely watch Free Guy, especially because in 5 days it'll be on Disney Plus.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
It was that quick of a turnaround?
I guess so, yeah. Disney just doesn't care about the Fox shit as much as they do with Marvel shit.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe it's the 8th. It might be sooner. I know it's this week.
What? Okay. I wouldn't have gone to the movies.
Right,
It was
yeah.
going to be out 2 weeks
That was my
later.
first thought. I was like, Chris just went to go see it at the movies.
Oh, that sucks. It was literally 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
If that.
Yeah, it's this week that it's dropping. I don't know. Actually, probably Tuesdays when shit drops, right? I don't know. Don't hold me to that. By the it'll be out by the time. Oh no, I don't know because this is coming out tomorrow. I just remembered. Hold on. Get me back on track. What was I saying? Oh, I was never gonna see Jumanji. There was no way.
And I've seen bits and pieces because people in my household
I've seen
really like the movie.
I've seen scenes here and there. I know Danny DeVito's in one of them. Yeah, Space Jam was not good. I don't recommend it. I do recommend it
Space
if you're...
Jam was good. Space Jam 2 was...
Space Jam: A New Legacy was not good. Space Jam 1 is probably still good. It's been a while since I watched it.
The predecessor to this podcast, our Mach 1 of this podcast, the only episode we ever did where it was kind of like you watch the movie along with us and we commentate.
Riff Tracks.
Yeah, it was like a Riff Tracks. It was Space Jam.
We did one of those on Space Jam,
which is lost to the ages. We'll probably never be able to find
that. It's lost to the ages, wink.
Really?
It'll never see the light of day, wink. It's good that we lost it too, because I made an absolute fool of myself with one of the on-screen actors, not knowing who he was, because I'm not a sports dude. Yeah, it's totally gone. I definitely still don't have that file, wink. So
I really thought it was gone.
No, yeah, it's totally gone, wink. That time I didn't wink with my eye. The other 3 times I did. That time I just said the word wink. I didn't have to wink with my eye.
No,
any
you
of the
didn't.
Times,
you
but
didn't, and you could have just done it in a sarcastic tone. I would have gotten the point.
So, Chris, I have a question for you.
All right.
I have a question for you.
Don't cough in my face.
It's an important question. It's one I haven't asked you in a while. Do you want to know what Roger Ebert thought of Space Jam 1?
Yeah, I thought
original.
we did this one, but I'm down to hear what he has to say.
I did a once over. I don't think we have. I don't think we have.
Then yeah, let's hear what our boy has.
How many stars do you think he gave the original Space Jam?
Okay, well, it was cartoon and live animation, which wasn't...
And it was mid-90s.
And it was mid-90s, which, like, there are definitely movies that did similar things like that around that time, like Roger Rabbit in films like that. So I don't think he'll be super dazzled at the fact that happened.
Okay.
I'm going to say 2. I'm going to say he gave it a solid 2.
Okay. And just as a reminder, just in case this is your first episode, Roger Ebert is a may he rest in peace, is a certified crazy person who does movie reviews out of 4 stars.
And he's the most famous, possibly?
The most famous film critic, probably, yeah.
Who lived? And boy, did he live.
Boy, did he.
From 1500 to like
2013.
2013.
It's very telling that I know the year he died, but not the one he was born. So Chris has guessed 2 out of 4 stars. Roger Ebert disagrees. He says 3.5 out of 4.
Oh, good for him. Good for him
Space
to have the
Jam.
wherewithal.
Do you call him a Neanderthal?
To have the wherewithal. to know that
really?
It was going to be a good movie.
I really thought you just went
one for the
super
ages.
hard and called him a Neanderthal.
I mean, if he gave it a 1, I might have.
Space Jam is a happy marriage of good ideas. 3 films for the price of 1, giving us a comic treatment of the career adventures of Michael Jordan, crossed with Looney Tunes cartoons and some showbiz warfare. It entertains kids at one level while giving their parents a lot to smile at, too. It's an inspired way to use... What the fuck? It's an inspired way to use and kid Jordan's image while at the same time updating Bugs Bunny and Company to doing battle with a multi-zillion-dollar animation sweepstakes.
How does he spell kid?
K-I-D.
Oh, well, never mind. I'm not going to find a...
The story begins with young... Yeah, we know.
Yeah, then he does plot.
A parallel story is full of a situation of an alternate cartoon universe, but an alternate cartoon universe where an amusement park in outer space has desperate needs for new attractions. The Nerd Lux. That's what they're called. That's what the aliens are called.
Okay.
The Nerd Lux. Thank you for fucking writing that in your goddamn... I'm a baseball player now, Jordan protests. I'm just looking at I'm just Here we go. Here's the meat. The cartoon sequences employ traditional animation techniques and newer approaches, such as the 3-dimensional computer animation used in Toy Story. You can watch the movie on the sports and cartoon levels, and also appreciate the corporate strategies that's involved. That's something else that you and I talked about before. I feel like the Space Jam 1 is a movie for fans of the sport basketball and of Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
But I feel like they kind of got neither with Space Jam 2.
I was just going to say, it really feels like the new film was geared towards WB fans and no other fandom.
A successful feature-length animated family film can roll up astronomical grosses, more than $1 billion from all sources, for The Lion King. But the problem for the rest of Hollywood is only Disney seems to have the key and cachet to make those films. Animated movies from other sources tend to do disappointingly at the box office. Sounds like Roger Ebert didn't like Spirited Away or Fievel Goes West.
Which is funny because he usually loves Ghibli.
Does he?
Yeah, remember he compares every...
Oh, that's right, of course. Yeah, that's what it is.
Every film to a Ghibli movie.
Warner Brothers has historically been a studio with a rich legacy in animation. Such great cartoon directors as Chuck Jones helped... That's really his name? Okay. Chuck Jones helped fashion their stable of stars, but 6-minute cartoons are a neglected art form, and Space Jam looks like a Warner's vehicle to catapult their Looney Tunes characters into the feature-length arena to do battle with Disney. Interesting prognostication that did not come true. This was sort of the only Looney Tunes movie that ever made it to theaters.
Yeah. Well, Looney Tunes back in action.
True, there is that one. That one's good.
But they didn't go hard.
No, they didn't go as Roger Ebert predicted, toe-to-toe battle at Disney versus Warner Brothers. It's sort of been Disney versus nobody for a while now.
Well, no, it's kind of been like that phone game where you have a circle and you eat the littler circles.
Pac-Man?
No, sorry. It's a shitty phone game, and you're a circle and you eat stuff. Just like
I remember this one.
And then if a circle's smaller and you another player has a smaller circle and you go over to them and you just eat them
you
and
get
you
a little
become bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Disney is. So there is no competition. Disney's just and Warner Brothers is doing their best to run away from the giant Disney blob.
There are hints of a rivalry all throughout the film. The Outer Space Amusement Park is named Moron Mountain, perhaps a tribute to Space Mountain at Walt Disney World. Perhaps, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a direct dig at Disney.
And when a professional hockey team is mentioned, Daffy sputters, "The Ducks? What kind of Mickey Mouse organization would name their team the Ducks?"
Oh, okay. Maybe they were taking small jabs at Disney.
That is a clear, direct hit,
yeah.
But this is post Who Framed Roger Rabbit. So you'd think that... I don't know. You'd think that everything would be cool with them. Because Who Framed Roger Rabbit went off without a hitch. Will the Warner strategy work? No. If they... It will if they keep co-stars like Michael Jordan on board. It is difficult for an actor to work in movies that combines live action with animation because much of the time he cannot see the other characters in the scene with him. That's the problem that Ian McKellen ran into in the later Hobbit films. But Jordan has a natural ease and humor and unforced charisma that makes a good fit with the cartoon universe. By not forcing himself, by never seeming to try too hard, LeBron James, to be funny or urgent.
Yeah,
it says,
it
says that in the thing. It's crazy. Roger Ebert mentioned LeBron James. He didn't. By not forcing himself, by never seeming to try too hard to be funny or urgent, Jordan keeps a certain dignity. He never acts as if he thinks he's a cartoon, too. And that's why he has good chemistry with the Tunes. He's a visitor of Looney Tunes land, not a resident.
Yep.
There's the last paragraph. It's kind of word vomit. There are other funny live-action scenes involving Jordan and Hollywood's favorite unbilled guest star Bill Murray, and scenes, too, with Wayne Knight as a baseball publicist who comes along as an advisor and confidant. The film was produced by Ivan Reitman, who produced Ghostbusters, and directed by Joe Pytka, who has directed Jordan in a lot of his best TV commercials. Their work was blended with the animation of the team headed by Ron Type, and the result is delightful, a family movie in the best sense, which means that adults will enjoy it too. So I feel like the first time he's really humbled himself before a children's movie.
Yeah.
He's really stepped outside of his like the bit that he's like a shitty bitter old man, and he's like, this one was like good, and you should watch it even if you're a grown adult.
That's interesting too, especially in that timeline, because he's right in the middle of shitting on
Yeah, he's like right about to go.
Rugrats and
He's right about to go
Pokemon.
hard on Pokemon.
Yeah.
Because this was 96. Pokemon was 98, 99, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, he's a maybe this was the tipping point. Maybe he liked Space Jam so much, and then like the next year he saw Pokemon, and that just broke him, and he was like, well, it's all bullshit.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, Space Jam was a really good movie. It also added elements of live action, so maybe that, in his mind, gave it a bit more credit as a film. Maybe he saw it more as a live action film with CGI, what then would be considered CGI aspects.
Yeah, because he's right. Space Jam does have 3D animation, but they use, similar to Donkey Kong Country, they use that 3D animation to make really good looking 2D animation.
Right.
Let me see something. I want to see if Roger Ebert has ever done Looney Tunes Back in Action. I'm going to guess no, because I'm pretty sure Back in Action was a straight-to-DVD joint. Maybe it wasn't, though. Did Looney Tunes Back in Action...
I feel like it came out in theaters.
Okay. I would believe you if you said that, because I genuinely don't remember. He did. He did watch Looney Tunes Back in Action. We're not going to talk about that now, but maybe some other time. Oh, yeah, Brendan Fraser is in this movie. I forgot about that. That movie's good. Michael Jordan is in that movie.
Is he?
He makes a cameo, yeah.
As Michael Jordan from Space Jam?
It's kind of a meta cameo. The villain is Steve Martin, if you remember correctly.
Okay.
And there's a part in the movie where Steve Martin is like, I'm not the villain, I'm this person, and he like unzips himself and he's a different actor.
I do remember
the
that.
eventual joke of that scene is he unzips himself enough that he's just the Steve Martin character again. But one of the characters, he's like, nah, I'm actually Michael Jordan, and it's really him.
Oh, I do remember that.
So
is
it wasn't
Michael Jordan dressed in his Space Jam outfit?
No, he was in
just
like
Michael Jordan.
Yeah, he was just in like a dress shirt or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's not. Hey, it's me, Michael Jordan. I was in Space Jam. These are my Looney Tune friends. But it was a kind of the only way to do that without having him directly mention Space Jam.
Right.
He was kind of like a meta reference where like we're acknowledging that Michael Jordan exists and Brendan Fraser's character knows who Michael Jordan is, but it's not actually him.
Yeah.
That movie's good. I haven't thought about that movie in a while. In Space Jam: A New Legacy, there's a part where they're all like, we're not gonna win. It's a scene. We're in the locker room. We're not gonna win. And Sylvester the cat comes in and he's like, guys, I found Michael Jordan. And there's this big like, oh, here he's coming. Here he's coming. And like, for whatever fucking reason, I just knew what was about to happen.
Yeah, you did.
Out walks Michael B. Jordan, star of Black Panther and Chronicle and Fantastic Four, and funny quote unquote scene plays out where he's like, I'm not him, but good luck. I believe in you guys. Whatever. I'm gonna go back and watch, and it implicates a lot. Why was Michael B. Jordan there?
Yeah. Why was he in the AI?
Why did Sylvester the cat
know that was Michael B. Jordan?
Why did he see this young gentleman who looks nothing like Michael Jordan but has the same name and be like, oh my God, you're Michael Jordan? I mean, you look different, but it's got to be you. It's 20 years later, and you're clearly way younger than he would be. Because Sylvester the cat shows up, and it's Daffy who's like, that's not Michael Jordan.
There could have... I feel like that scene could have been saved, but also ruined the joke if there was a scene of Sylvester looking up at someone and being like, oh, I remember you looking different, Michael, but if you say so. And then
like a precursor scene?
Yeah.
Do you want to know what else would have saved that scene? If that scene was actually
Michael Jordan
if that scene actually happened exactly the way it happened, but it was a bait and switch and the real Michael Jordan came out and was like, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
Do you think they asked him and he said no, or do you think they didn't ask him?
I think they didn't ask him because LeBron James wanted this movie to be about LeBron James.
But then why did they have the Michael B. Jordan gag?
Because it was small. It was such a small thing, it wasn't even the first thing we mentioned in this podcast.
Right.
The Michael B. Jordan gag worked because it was a small reference to the movie that they're shitting on, but not a big enough reference that it steals the stage. Because if Michael Jordan showed up in this movie, that would have stole everything.
Well, oh, yeah.
Just from the fandom. Just people who enjoyed the movie. Fuck LeBron. Michael Jordan was in this movie.
Right. Yeah, that would be back when this movie was new. The talk of the town was definitely, holy shit, Rick and Morty is in this movie. But if Michael Jordan showed up, which we all sort of thought he would at some point, that would have definitely been
How
like.
How cool would that have been though if assuming this is the way it happened, that they just didn't call Michael because then he'd steal the show. How cool would it have been if LeBron James could have humbled himself a bit, and then you have LeBron James and Michael Jordan playing in Space Jam 2, like the second half of the game?
That would be cool if rather than sorry, I know we're coming down. There is something else I have to talk about. That would be cool if it was like rather than using Looney Tunes logic to be like, all right, I'm gonna cheat too. If they literally just like now it's two basketball players and they're.
Or Michael Jordan showed LeBron James how to do the Looney
Tunes
shit.
If it's that would be cool too. There's definitely versions of this movie that are good,
that
but
are
not
cool.
the one we got. There's a part in this movie where during the third quarter, I don't know if that's how basketball works, but it was like the third section of the game during the second half or whatever you want to call it.
You guys talk about the rap battle that I thought you were already going to talk about?
They stop playing basketball so they can do a rap battle. And
they did.
The rap battle is Porky Pig versus Algae Rhythm. Algae Rhythm does not rap. Porky Pig, the joke is he's stuttering, right? And then all of a sudden he doesn't stutter because he's rapping. And I was expecting some fucking like rap god mumble rap shit. It was like okay. It was like not that good. And the fact that this rap happens without a passing comment from LeBron James saying like, well, this doesn't happen in basketball is the most unrealistic part of the whole movie. Like, at least up until that point, even though there was a lot of cheating going on, they were playing basketball.
Right.
They literally like stopped the timer to have a rap battle for some reason.
Yeah. And did it add to the game? Did it further the game?
No.
It just
nobody got any points.
An intermission.
Nobody got it. It's unexplained why it happens.
Yeah.
It just happened. The fucking lights, the sky goes out because they're outside, and there's a spotlight from the heavens on Porky Pig, who starts rapping like he's in Pitch Perfect, and he fucking and he like wins instantly, I guess, because there's no retaliation from Don Cheadle's character, and then the game continues. No one got any bonus points for that shit. And the punchline was, executed by the announcers. One of them was a comedian. One of them was a real basketball announcer who's his whole job was to just say shit like, I've never seen anything like that in my 800 years of casting for this good sport.
What a fucking movie.
Hey, since we're basically done, and this is our movie podcast, and I forgot to bring it up in the real podcast, can I talk about something that's not Space Jam for a minute?
Yeah.
Did you hear about the new Venom movie is out?
It is out.
Did you hear about the after the credits scene?
No.
Can I spoil it for you?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm not going to watch the movie.
I have no interest in watching the movie either, so I had to, of course, look up the after the credits scene because people were saying how insane it is. Tom Holland's Spider-Man shows up in that movie. You know
shit.
How at the end of Far From Home, you know how we're watching a news broadcast of J. Jonah Jameson be like, Spider-Man is none other than Peter Parker.
That was a good J. Jonah Jameson.
Oh, thank you. The after the credit scene is Venom. The dude Eddie Brock is hanging out in his room. And he's watching that on TV. We literally see Tom Holland's Spider-Man on the TV. It was very low quality because it was obviously like taken on a phone in a theater.
Yeah.
But Venom, like, how would you describe this? He like caresses the TV as if it was someone's face.
Oh, okay.
And then he says something, but I don't remember what it was. And then there was like a joke that I didn't get because I didn't see the movie. I just saw that one scene. But like, is that going to have implications on No Way Home? Am I going to have to watch the Venom movies to not be lost in No Way Home? Because I'd rather not.
I mean, that has huge implications on the MCU. That officially stamps that Venom is a part of the MCU. It kind of fucking has to.
Right?
Whether it plays any role in the upcoming Spider-Man movie, who knows? But that hardcore, there's not even an implication. That stamps that Venom is a part of the official MCU. And not the Sony MCU, which, like, fuck, maybe this Spider-Man movie is just about everything Spider-Man that was from Sony is now a part of the MCU.
You think, that That would be cool. I am still.
Or the horrifying alternative that Sony is taking Spider-Man back after this movie, and that's the end of it.
I mean, it's got to be called No Way Home for a reason, right?
Yeah.
I am still team. I really don't think Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are going to be in this movie.
Yeah.
I don't know why everyone still thinks that.
Their villains are definitely going to be.
Yeah, oh, of course, yeah. That trailer, if it confirmed anything, it confirmed the Green Goblin
Willem Dafoe.
and Alfred Molina's Doc Ock.
Yeah.
100% confirmation.
Lizard from the
we think apparently all 6 were like sort of in that trailer somewhere, but the 2 that were hard confirmed are Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin,
absolutely,
and Alfred Molina's Doc Ock. I don't think that. And someone brought up a good point. Why would Doc Ock say "Hello, Peter" to Tom Holland?
Yeah, that is a good point.
But I really don't think. I just really don't think.
Here's
I'm
the
kind
thing,
of in
though.
the same. I'm kind of in the same boat with Sora on Smash Brothers. If Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are in this movie, I'll be over the moon. I do not think it's happening.
Yeah. Here's the thing, too, though. This Doc Ock, clearly played by the same actor.
Yeah.
It is a different costume. It's a different getup. It's a different
hairstyle.
This could be a different Doc Ock.
I mean,
played by the same guy.
I mean, they're not above doing that because they did that in WandaVision.
They did it with J. Jonah Jameson.
Well, but that is the same character.
Is it, though, or is it an alt version of him from this MCU universe?
I see what you're saying. Fuck Quicksilver from WandaVision. You're saying the first ever crossover between the old MCU movies and the new ones are him, and it's the same character played by the same actor, but that doesn't mean it's not a different multiverse.
Character, right. Because he has a different hairstyle.
He does,
being he doesn't have hair.
Right. Which J. Jonah Jameson is supposed to have.
Yeah, he's known for having.
Which I can only assume
the Stan Lee look.
Right. Because that character was based off himself.
Right.
I can only assume that that's because it was a last minute get, and that's just what. What is his name?
Oh, the actor. Yeah.
The actor's name. What is it? I know
They could have thrown a wig together like that.
Yeah. I don't know. You're right though. There's got to be a reason he's bald. And it could just be it's the same character, but he aged, and that opens up more questions.
Right.
But it could be just like,
well, no,
there's going to be 2.
He cannot be the same J. Jonah Jameson because in his universe, Tobey Maguire is Spider-Man. It cannot be the same guy. Oh?
It's on this somewhere.
Oh, you're looking for his name? Is he in Juno?
J.K. Simmons is his name.
Okay, cool.
Yes, he is in Juno. He's the dad in Juno.
Okay.
Opposite Allison Janney's stepmom from Juno.
But yeah, that's interesting. I'd really like to see this end credit scene.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, this was a couple days ago, so maybe there's a better, still pirated, but a better version of this. It's just odd because it really.
How did I hear nothing about that?
First of all, I don't know.
That should be huge news.
I heard about that literally the morning of
That's
it happening.
Be the biggest thing to come out of that Venom movie.
Probably. Yeah.
That's insane.
And it's just very much it's one of those things where it's I don't know who I'm talking to right now, whether I'm talking to Disney, Marvel, or if I'm talking to Sony. Just say yes or no. Just say they're part of the same universe or they're not.
Well, I think that's what they're leading up to. I think the merger. I think we saw the breakup. Do you want to pause to check that out?
We're almost done. I'm sure she just has to go out.
Yeah. I think we saw the breakup, the makeup, and now I think we're seeing the wedding.
We saw the breakup, we saw the makeup, and we saw the why don't you get up and put on a little makeup?
Yeah.
No, I think you're. I mean, you could be right. I was about to say, I think you're right. I have no fucking clue.
They might be fusing the franchises.
Yeah.
Once and for all.
I don't know.
They're working out a master deal.
Hey, if they're going to do that, could the Spider-Man movies please be on Disney Plus, please? Because
cool.
They're not right now. I understand if Spider-Verse doesn't make it, but can we at least have the MCU Tom Holland Spider-Man movies on Disney Plus? That'd be pretty cool. Also, Incredible Hulk isn't on Disney Plus. Don't know why that isn't there either. The end of our podcast. Don't watch Space Jam 2, but do watch Spider-Man. That's probably going to be good.
Continue listening to this podcast. New episodes out every other week.
Yeah, every other week. Keep your eyes peeled for an Eternals episode when
Yep.
that movie comes
Yep,
out, and
next
of
month.
course, probably the most anticipated film of the whole year, Spider-Man.
Yes. My God, this just thickened the
and then like
spider soup.
and then like
I don't know.
road to the multiverse. You know, like
Yeah.
as depending on how No Way Home goes, fucking anybody could show up in
Mhm.
Doctor Strange,
Mm-hmm.
and it wouldn't be weird at this point.
Oh,
But
it's
yeah,
exciting stuff.
that'll do it for us. My dog is barking, so I have to go take care of her. Thank you so much for listening. Go watch movies. Go listen to our movie podcast. And until next time, I've been Thunder,
I'm Lightning.
and we'll see you next time. Thank you for listening and watching. And if you like what you see, please be sure to subscribe.
Our channel is daily uploads from podcasts to video essays, let's plays to skits.
Be sure to find us on Twitch and Patreon.
Our theme song is Sunny Day by Froggy and the Friendship, and our Let's Play intro is Sunny Bit by the same band.
Link to all these in the description below. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.